Here's what some people are saying about the Projection Booth podcast.
The Projection Booth is single-handedly the greatest film podcast you could ever listen to or could possibly want.
Top notch. 5 stars. This has quickly become one of my favorite film-related podcasts. Always interesting.
A completely unpretentious yet fully comprehensive look at films from all genres.
The Projection Booth podcast, with new episodes available every week at projectionboothpodcast.com.
You are listening to the In the Mouth of Dorkness podcast. Here are Brad, Lisa, Brian, and Darren.
Welcome to another edition of the It Modcast podcast. With me is Brian Young, the Turtle Dork.
I've got a little treat for y'all tonight. It's the man I knew as White Chocolate. Some might know him as Magic Mike. We're going to see if he still got some magic in that mic. You down for a little fun tonight?
And also joining us is Lisa Gullickson, wife Dork.
iPhone went by phone.
And Brad Gullickson, mouth Dork.
Can you touch this? No, 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 no. Ladies, can you touch this? No, 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 no. The law says that you cannot touch. But I see a lot of lawbreakers out there.
And I'm your host, Darren Smith, the Disco Dork. And welcome to the It Modcast podcast, Homeworkcast.
What, Darren? You don't have a sweet Magic Mike / Magic Mike XXL quote?
All right. And welcome to the It Modcast, Homeworkcast, Magic Mike XXL episode.
I'm just saying that my Matt McConaughey is better than Brian's Jada Pinkett Smith.
I don't know. I think it's about energy, and I think Brian had it going on.
A little bit. I try to bring the flair to it a little bit,
To be fair, though, we did another take initially where Brad, he kind of brought it the first time. So.
The first time was better, I
He
agree.
used up all his mojo on our first take.
Got a good southern accent, though, Brad. I like that. I like that southern accent.
I see a lot of lawbreakers out here.
I don't know where it's going.
All right, so this episode, as we've mentioned, we're going to be discussing Magic Mike XXL, which was given to me by Brian. This is my turn to do homework, and my first homework assignment is Magic Mike, the sequel. Brian.
You have to say it right. It's double XL.
Yes, I'm sorry. Magic Mike XXL.
Doesn't that technically
like extra,
mean,
extra large?
I'm not good. I don't watch the Super Bowl, so I don't know my Roman numerals. But
It's not a Roman numeral. I think it's just a play on like...
I know, Brian. I was making a joke.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, actually...
You got so excited about being able to pronounce all the names on the Oscar cast.
Yeah.
You're just Mr. Correcty Correcterson now.
I know, I'm sorry.
It's about dick size.
Well, actually... yeah, go ahead.
I think it would be 70, because L is 50, right?
L is 50.
And X is 10. But it's in the wrong order.
Yeah, so...
Whatever the case is, I'm putting this pump down.
Yeah.
50, it'd be 30, which is technically not right, yeah.
Right. Why did you choose Magic Mike XXL? XXL. Extra, extra large.
Because...
As a really, really big dick.
Because you've never seen the film, and I've seen it, and it's a fantastic, fun little romp, and I thought you would enjoy this film. So, yeah.
You needed a break. You were seeming stressed. You needed to relax, get your thrust on.
Yeah. There you go.
So we have Channing Tatum, who plays Mike, Magic Mike, and these events of this film, I guess, pick up after the first film, which I haven't seen. But we find Mike at a contemplative place in his life on a bench at the beach, looking out at the ocean.
That's right. That's the beginning, Darren.
And we see that maybe he is not too satisfied with his lot in life as of right now. He's working as a furniture maker and mover, possibly, and he gets a phone call from his buddies from the first film, Tarzan, to be specific, played by Kevin Nash, and he is given some bad news. Dallas, who is played by Matthew McConaughey in the first Magic Mike, has died, And so Magic Mike must go and visit his friends and to say goodbye to Dallas. But when he gets there, he finds out it was just a ruse just to get him to come down because, as his friend said, they figured, his life was so perfect and going so well. He had the girl, he had the job in the house that, they didn't think that he would come just on a regular whim, hey, come hang out with us. And it's weird, not weird, but I don't know what their dynamic was as far as friends in the first film. But, you typically expect the person to be angry when they find out, like, why would you lie and say something like that? You don't, that's kind of fucked up. You could have just told me the truth, or don't play that. You don't play like that. But Channing Tatum was like, oh, okay. And
well, the reason is because Channing Tatum on that park bench staring out into the ocean has a banana hammock shaped hole in his soul, and he needs to fill it with thrusting and male entertainment performance.
So the guys tell him that the reason why they called him is because they are on their way to Myrtle Beach, and there is an annual strippers convention at Myrtle Beach that the gentlemen want to participate in as their last hoorah. They are getting up there in age as far as male entertainers go, I assume, and they want to go out with a bang, so to speak, and whipped cream and.
And glitter. There's
ice
glitter.
cream toppings and glitter, yeah. And so they're going to go on this road trip. So basically, that's what the movie becomes. The guys get packing to a food truck, and they make their way to up to Myrtle Beach, up the coast of Myrtle Beach, and along the way, hijinks ensue, as it normally does in this type of story. So, Brian mentioned that one of the things that he liked about the film is the camaraderie and the relationship between the friends, the friendship with the core group of guys.
This is basically Ninja Turtles, the extra large edition.
Yeah, Ninja Turtles with abs.
Yeah,
and thongs.
And penis pumps. And Molly.
And Molly.
Molly's,
I didn't see a penis pump in this one. There was a penis pump in this one?
No, the penis pump was in the first film.
Okay. So basically that's what the film is. It's weird because not seeking the film out prior to Brian giving it to me as a homework assignment. I didn't have any expectations from the film. Not really knowing what the first film was because I haven't seen the first film also helped me not have any expectations for this film as well. Expecting it to be a direct follow-up, expecting it to be in line tonally with the first film, because I hadn't seen the first film. I had nothing to compare it to. So, it was weird because the story, it really pretty much is that. Like, there's no, at the end of the film, when they get to the convention, there's no, it really is just, it's not a competition. It's not like in another film where these group of friends, they want to go. It's not like
it's not like Bring It On.
Yeah, it's not like Bring It On. It's not like
it's not about winning. It's about brotherhood and your art and being your true self.
Yeah, of course. But other films like this would have, along the way to the journey, it wouldn't be the end, the where they go, the destination. It'd be about the journey. So it's not like The Wizard when they're trying to go compete and play Super Mario 3. It's not like they're trying to go compete at a strippers tournament. They get there and they perform, and then it ends.
Well, that's what's so interesting about Magic Mike XXL is it's not about winning. It's not Bring It On. It's finding oneself and finding your place in a community and realizing how special that is. Because the first Magic Mike, which honestly I would not recommend going and rewatching. It's a very different thing. It's much more dry. It's really just Channing Tatum and
Alex Pettyfer
and Matthew McConaughey's movie. Yeah. And it's more about passing the torch. And then once that torch is passed, not liking the mirror that's held up to him. And so Magic Mike is about Channing Tatum getting out of the game. And then Magic Mike XXL is saying, you know what? No apologies. I had something special. And, You don't want to look a gift banana hammock in the mouth. All right? You need to know that when you have something special, you need to take care of that friendship. Because these guys in the first film are barely background players. You know, Kevin Nash and Matt Bomer and Joe Manganiello.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that it?
Manganiello, yeah.
Manganiello. I call him Big Dick Richie. He'll always be Big Dick Richie to me. I love Big Dick Richie. And it's in Magic Mike XXL, it's a celebration of friendship within a male stripper community.
Yeah.
And in a community that really hasn't been explored in any fashion cinematically before.
And so with this film, because again, I haven't seen the first Magic Mike, but you're saying that it definitely is lighter in tone. It is almost a totally different beast. I guess it's weird. Like I feel like, well, I shouldn't hold it up to like a high standard. I don't want to say it's not. You know, I don't want to be pretentious and say, well, Darren, it's not supposed to be high art. But I feel like I don't want to hold it up to like some high standard, because really at the end of the day, it's not like there's a whole lot of character progressions or you know, really profound like character discovery, or even
I take issue with that.
Well, even with Channing Tatum, okay, like so at the end of the beginning of the film, he's basically, you know what, I used to strip, I decided to get out, but you know what, I kind of love it. It's a part of me. It's who I am. So I'm going to do this thing anyway. For me, when he decides that he's going to go, to me, that's his art. Because he said he was at a place, again, I haven't seen the first film, but at the end of that first film, it puts him on that bench on the beach when he's like, man, I have my job. My relationship didn't work out with my wife or my girlfriend. Did he get married in it? Was he married in it?
Well, he was falling in love with Alex Pettyfer's sister awkwardly, and I guess it is implied in this film that at some point after the credits of the first movie, he proposed to her, and she was like, "Nope."
Gotcha. Okay, so he's at this crossroad in the beginning of the film. I made a choice. It put me where I am in my life, but I'm not happy. I'm happy when I'm with my guys, my friends. So he decides, you know what? Screw where I am now. I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to get out of this situation and go back and be with my friends. He changed his circumstance, and that's where he was happy. So for me, the rest of the film, and not in a bad way, I'm thinking about all of this in retrospect as I'm talking about it, because when I'm watching the movie again, it was just unfolding, and I was like, man, this is not what I thought is what I expected to be. But anyway, so like that was it for me. Like, because at the end of the film, I don't think that there wasn't really a lot of conflict there for me, for his character.
The film, I agree. At the start of the movie, he's offered a chance to return to this life. He's not so sure about it. He's sitting in the wood shop. Pony comes on. He decides to ride that pony.
Is that a thing in the first movie? Like, is that his jam?
Don't look at me, because I did not see the first movie.
It is.
Brad is the Magic Mike aficionado in this relationship.
That is his jam.
Okay.
That's what he would strip to. And they talk about the origin of the pony dance and how, in Magic, in the sequel, and how he saw a girl and he just wanted to do dirty things to that girl. And that's the origin of the pony dance.
Okay.
But so he commits at the beginning, and his arc is completed. He's like, you know what? I'm not complete. I'm with these guys. I feel at home. This is where I belong. And now I am going to complete the arcs for all my teammates.
I was going to say. So hearing you say that his group, his buddies, were barely in the first film, I was going to say, so after his arc completes, like in the first act, you really, I guess, explore the rest of the group.
This is an apostle movie. He's bringing his apostles together. He's training them for the great mission of bringing joy to the people.
But also,
because he is Jesus,
he comes bringing a different artistic perspective, and that's something that, even not seeing the first film, they talk about how Dallas was really the person who gave each person their character and told them what to do and told them what to dance. And Channing Tatum, Mike, comes in and says, you can do the dance that reflects you as a person.
Yeah.
And
Dallas is about getting cash. How am I going to get more money?
And Mike is about liberating them artistically so that they can live out their dreams and their best life through their dance and bring joy to people by being themselves.
They're healers.
That's what I took.
Yeah, exactly.
As Childish Gambino said.
That's right.
That's what I took away from it. It feels like Channing Tatum's character is taking over that role of Dallas from the first film, but he's nurturing more the artistic side of it instead of just kind of like...
My impression is that Dallas ruled with an iron fist, that they were just pawns in his little cash
So was he an antagonist in the first film?
At times.
Yeah.
At times. He was never like the villain.
No.
But he was certainly the cock of the walk.
I liked seeing male entertaining as a celebration and as an art form. As a person who doesn't prescribe to it, and all of the thrusting scenes and all the dancing scenes make me major blush because I am like the biggest prude ever. But I did like enjoy people embracing something that's so ridiculous and so silly and just going like, yeah, but this is who I am and this is what I like to do and I just want to do it and I don't care if it's this maligned base art. I don't know. I kind of dug it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've never had any
desire to be a male entertainer.
No, not like that. I know some. I know male and female. Have known male and female entertainers.
He's seen my show.
So, like I've always had a respect for like when you watch Magic Mike XXL, and my favorite moments of the film and some of my favorite elements of the film are the performances because, and Brad, we talked about this before in other episodes when we were in admiration of people's ability to do this choreography and this dance and stuff like that. And it's not just a guy in a thong or a banana hammock gyrating his hips. Like when you look at Channing Tatum's elaborate performance in the when he's having to earn that assistance from Rome, and he's doing that choreography and he's spinning on the chair and he's holding himself up on two people's backsides. It sounds weird and it looks it's awesome when you see it. But like all of those things, like to be in a place creatively where you can do something unique and different with something that started out as sliding on a pole and spinning around and gyrating your hips, but to have it evolved into something that is really this elaborate and expressive. It's from one artist to another. It's very impressive, and I enjoy watching.
The athleticism of it is extraordinary.
Yeah. Like,
it should be. It should be the next Olympic thing.
It's really
I would watch
impressive.
that. I would watch the Olympics then.
Well, what's interesting about Magic Mike XXL, as Lisa was saying, how Mike comes into this group and says, "Look, we need to look inward. What do you love most about life? It's not being a fireman, Big Dick Ritchie. You never wanted to be a fireman, so that's a lie. When you're on stage pretending to be that guy with the hose, that's BS. Yeah. Who are you? And here's some Molly. Let's discover your inner art." And for Big Dick Ritchie, that is truly connecting with someone on stage, marrying them, and then fucking her like an animal to Trent Reznor.
Well, his essential self was the male entertainer, which I found so interesting. Like, Tito looks in himself and he's like, I make frozen yogurt. And Tarzan looks in himself and he goes, I am a painter. Magic Mike looks at himself and he says, when I look in the mirror, I want to see a black guy. That was his thing. But Big Dick Ritchie's thing was, I want to make women's fantasies come true. I am a male entertainer. And I thought that the most base level understanding of what women want, they want to be romanced, they want to be married, and then they want to get fucked in some kind of strap swing thing.
Oh, yeah.
Sex swing,
like
yeah.
The sex...
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's not wrong. But...
Oh.
Hint. Christmas, birthday. Hint. All right.
They are very, very close together. My birthday is the 27th, so...
All right. Fuck. So anyway, as any good road movie is, you have your core group of people commence this journey, and along the way you have little stop-offs and things like that. But again, normally in this type of film, there'd be something that would happen to make you kind of worry and think, even if you know how these things play out,
right,
there'd be some type of stumbling block. Oh, we might not make it, or this might not happen, or there'll be something a huge infight that would happen that separates the group, and somebody has to go pull everybody back together at the last minute, or someone leaves only to return in the very last act at the performance.
That happens. Iglesias. That Froyo truck gets smashed.
Man, but he didn't leave because of anger, or I at no point did I feel like, well, because he left, they just can't go on. They leave him.
There was some tension between Mike and
Matt
Bomer, the healer guy.
Like early on when they hit him in the nuts.
Well, because
so what was that about? Was that from the first movie?
Not really. I mean, honestly, all the relationship stuff between the guys is all from Double XL. There's very little communication between those dudes in the first movie.
So maybe that also affected my viewing experience with it, because I'm thinking like, okay, so maybe I should have watched the first one to get an understanding of why these guys are having this exchange right now, or why this means so much to this person, or the significance of this moment. So I was saying that to myself through multiple instances in the film. When Jada Pinkett Smith shows up, I'm thinking, well, man, I probably should watch the first film to have some understanding of the significance of their relationship. When she runs into Elizabeth Banks in the beginning, I'm like, man, what was that scene like in the first film?
Elizabeth Banks also in this movie only.
Yeah, so a lot of me was like,
that's
shit.
some extraordinary world building in this film. There's an entire world that exists outside of Magic Mike and Magic Mike XXL.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I think that, again,
it's the John Wick of stripping.
I was just expecting. I was just assuming
so many headshots.
Wow. I was just assuming that these. Things were initially touched upon in the first film, and so I just kept telling myself, "Damn, like maybe I should have gone back and watched the first film first."
Double XL completely reverses the character arc of Channing Tatum in the first movie, and I love that.
Well, another reason why. To watch the first film was for maybe to appreciate that switch. So anyway, and it's weird because thinking back on the film and trying to talk about it, it's not even like I can go back and review it and say, well, and then this thing happens and this thing happens in a way where I would a normal film, but because really it feels like they're just moments to stop off to showcase, number one, the dance moves, and then the group just being a fun group of guys.
Yeah, the group
dynamic. When you talk about The Wolf of Wall Street as your party movie, that's what Magic Mike XXL is. Magic Mike is a party film. It is something you pop on and you want to be a part of their charisma. Yeah. You want to leech off of their enthusiasm for life. That's what Magic Mike XXL is.
What the fuck was Michael Strahan doing stripping?
I know. Dude, that was crazy.
I was like, is that Michael Strahan? And I was like, that's not him. Then he smiled, and I saw the gap, and I was like, that's Michael Strahan. And then he just jumped over that chick in his drawers. So yeah, it was weird. So you have a lot of cameos in the film, but all of it was like you just mentioned. It was just a party. It really was like it was again. It was weird because I'm expecting all right. So where's the adversity? Like it's just them having fun. And again, not that that's a detriment to the film or that's a bad thing, but you understand. You have to understand it. Normally, that's not how it is. Like it's just these guys having a good time, and that I think that's a part of or the charm of the film is just. And it's not. I think the movie shows that. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong if you just have a movie of a bunch of friends who are good friends, and then they go from place to place, affecting people's lives in a positive way, and in the end, they have fun themselves. Like really, that's all Magic Mike is. I mean, Double XL is. I don't know about the first one, but the second one is, let's just go here and do this, touch this cashier's life in the store, make her smile. Let's just go here and
not at all terrifying, by the way. Yeah, if I was that cashier,
I'd have been reaching under the counter for the shotgun. But yeah, so then they go and then they meet Jada Pinkett's character, and then you see them meet other people who are touching other people's lives and making them have fun. And you had that discussion that I just mentioned earlier between Donald Glover's character and Matt Bomer's character, where Donald Glover talks about the fact that he likes what he does. He wants to try to be a recording artist. He's putting his music on SoundCloud. But at the end of the day, he said, even if I got a deal tomorrow, I'd still do this on the side because every day I just meet all these women and I get to make them feel good. Their men aren't asking them what they want.
How do you feel about Donald Glover in this film when he steps on and he's got his little smoking jacket on and his tiny little rib cage and his tiny little abs? You're like, oh, poor small tiny Donald Glover. What are you doing with these guys?
But I think Donald Glover represents the same thing that the Magic Mike and Tarzan and everyone else represents. Is confidence. Like it doesn't matter what size you are. That's another thing that women find sexy. Yeah. Because again, and you see it in the film. Like he is smaller. Obviously, he's visibly smaller than all these other guys that are in each room spinning around and gyrating. But the way he has confidence and the way he talks to those women, and then he has other things to offer. He can sing. That's what I'm saying. He's creative. He can freestyle. So
and women like different things. So he has something else that he can offer.
He's a different flavor.
It is, and that's what multiple rooms in that house represent. Yeah. Like you might be a woman who likes this type of guy. You might be a woman that likes that type of guy. But there is something out there for everyone. That's what Rome provides those women in that house is something for everyone. And Donald Glover is just another option for a woman. And so, and knowing Donald Glover and his childish Gambino persona as far as his music career, which if you don't know who Donald Glover is musically, his music persona is childish Gambino.
I like his camping album. I think it's called Camping.
He makes some great music. Some of it's weird. A lot of it's weird actually because creatively he is a geek who is into all things. But creatively, musically, he's a very talented person. And so you have some of that in this character in the film. But yeah, that scene when they stop off at that location, it's weird to see that type of place. I don't know if that type of place actually exists, but
I'm sure it does.
Within the universe of that movie, like it was fine. But just to see everyone in there having a good time, again, it was just another stop of them going somewhere, affecting people's lives positively, and then moving on. And then they stop off. They meet some young women earlier in the film, and then they end up meeting back up with them. But before they meet up with those women, they actually meet this girl's mother.
Yeah, Andy McDowell.
Who? This scene, I just want to claw my eyes out. It is so awkward.
Yes, and so her and her friends are, I guess, having a dinner party or whatever.
A wine party.
A wine party, and Mike and his crew show up and
looking for Amber Heard.
They're invited in.
Not Amber Heard. She just happened to be there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Apparently,
the other girl that Tito had met.
The girl with Tito.
Tito hooked up with a girl at the campsite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they meet them, those ladies, those women, and then they positively affect their lives, and they're given a freaking Rolls Royce Phantom for their hard work and efforts. That's dope.
Part of Big Dick Richie's quest is to find a woman who can contain him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because he is large and in charge. And one of the facts we learned about Andy McDowell's character is
he fit.
She's the glass slipper.
Yeah, she's the Shane Black character's joke in Predator.
Yeah,
Echo.
It's so yeah. He gets for his effort. He gets a Rolls Royce Phantom, drop top no less, two-tone, which is dope. So then they continue their journey to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
And then you have the final scene, the final act of the film where they just put on this performance.
Yeah.
And again, I'm thinking, all right, so I see these other acts there. They're in the dressing room and everyone's practicing and shit. I'm like, all right, so it's gonna be a competition. They're not gonna win, but they're gonna look back and go, you know what? It doesn't matter. All these things that happened on their way here, were good. We had a good time. This was a blast. Channing Tatum even says it at one point. So I'm going, all right, you know what? Yep, that's what's gonna happen. But again, they go out there. It's their turn to perform, and they perform.
And it's wonderful.
And it's wonderful. And so here's the thing.
But is it as good as the Twilight show?
I don't know about that, but I will say so. They have different. Each member of the group has a different set, and so Tarzan has a creative set where he is, as mentioned earlier by Lisa, exploring his inner Picasso. So he has this act where he has a woman on stage sitting in a chair, and he's pretending to use her as his muse and inspiration. So he's drawing her, he's painting her. and as he's removing his clothes, and
he has a cape and shit.
He has a cape, and how actually he finishes that act with the glitter on the canvas. That was pretty dope. So then we have Tito, who he dances to Candy Shop.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one with the chocolate,
and the whipped cream and the women's faces.
Now my whole thing is like, okay, these women get like dressed up to come to this show, and like. Okay, and then you go and pour chocolate and whipped cream, like,
and they loved it.
If I was them, I'd be pissed.
I know.
Where's the thing? The chocolate, I could see them not being so mad because he was licking that shit off. But the whipped cream, you just
ejaculated into their face,
and they're like, "Yay, that's not real life."
I hope you're planning on going home.
That is not real life. No, fellas, don't do that shit in real life. You get kicked out. And then you had Matt Bomer's character. What was his character's name?
Matt Bomer, his character's name is Ken. Yeah,
that dude can sing
like a Ken doll.
He can sing.
That dude can sing. So he
extraordinary.
sings D'Angelo's "How Does It Feel" song, which that's a badass song. First of all, that's one that was that's one that's on rotation. That's on your mixtape when you trying to get with a girl. You have that song in there. So kudos for that, because that is one you sing when you court a young lady. And his performance with that one was probably one of my favorites. But then.
I see his character as a missed opportunity because the actor Matt Bomer is actually gay, and I'm sure a lot of male entertainers are actually gay. I think he could have been a gay character, but he was not. He's just another straighty.
But he was
But he was really into Reiki.
He was into Reiki, so he was the hippie guy.
Yeah.
He saged the Froyo van.
Yeah. That's not what he was doing?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you had Donald Glover doing some MCing along with Jada Pinkett Smith, who she was good in that role.
She was good.
She's no Dallas.
And then
Nah.
And then Channing Tatum comes out with a guy that he partnered up with one of Jada Pinkett's characters, one of her men, her service people,
soldiers,
employees.
He's actually a choreographer for So You Think You Could Dance.
Yeah. And
he's really famous.
Their routine, that shit was the best thing in the
That
movie.
was so cool.
That was my favorite part.
So creative. So they had the center stage. And like Lisa said, each dancer exploring who they see, their inner selves or whatever. So they had this huge gold frame on the stage, right in the middle. And the gold frame is supposed to represent the frame of a mirror. And there are two chairs placed on each side of the frame. And a woman is placed in each chair. And Mike and this other guy are in front of each woman. So they're supposed to be their reflection. So each move that one dancer would do, the other one would mirror. And they do their whole routine mirror like that. But then it would get to the point where they're crossing over through the frame to the other woman. But they're doing the same thing. The shit was just that was just badass.
It was
that
really cool, but at the same time, they are pantomiming, fucking a woman in a mirror, and then at one point they high five. I'm like, what does this mean?
That's what it's a high five moment. Like, we hitting that shit, though.
Yeah, but it's the mirror. It's the reflection in the mirror. I don't know.
Because a guy, you high five yourself. As a guy, you have a mirror.
That's the Patrick Bateman moment.
In your bedroom, and ladies, if you don't notice, the guy, if you have a mirror in the bedroom, the guy's doing his duty, and you're not looking. He's looking at himself in the mirror, and he's high fiving himself
That's
like
just like in American Psycho.
American Psycho. Yeah.
That's the reference I just made.
Yes, we both got it. Brian and I got it.
Okay.
So I'm just saying. So that's what that was.
Another thing
Lisa.
that kind of goes along with the whipped cream idea. Like these women, they're getting whipped cream on their persons, and now they have to live the rest of their day. I don't know. This could be noon. We don't know.
Yeah.
It was 10:30. It was 10:20 at night.
These women are supposedly like volunteers from the audience, and they're just like flipping and whipping these women around. Like it's just like,
Okay, here's the thing. They like that. I've seen. I'm not saying all women like that, but
I'm just saying that some women have spine issues. Like, did they sign a release?
I don't. Not from my experience. They just go in there. But when it happens, I don't know. They might just be so full of adrenaline.
I think it's like once you come through the door, there's already like a waiver. Like
just like, okay, ladies, brace yourself.
They have a big poster outside that says, "By stepping through this threshold, you are entering."
You are going to get whipped around.
Yeah. But that. I mean, all of that was incredible.
Yeah, I love that finale.
So
that
then,
finale
like,
was great.
it ends, and I'm like, all right, wait, there are no judges. Everybody starts T-Pain,
Everybody
DJ Khaled,
wins.
All I Do Is Win comes on. I'm like, okay, they won, but there's no competition, and it just goes off. Or they go out. They go outside and they're looking.
They're like on the
They're looking
boardwalk.
out at the sky.
Yeah, it
Everyone's-
mirrors the opening scene with Mike out looking to the beach.
Except all of them are, and they're fireworks now. And then, and then it goes off, and that was it. And so I was like, all right. Well, and again, not that there was anything wrong with that, or that it was bad, or that it was a bad ending, or I didn't understand it. Again, it's just what I'm used to and what I've been trained to expect from films. This not being that. So when it ended, I was like, oh. All right, there was no.
But Darren, we just saw a fist fight together over at the Tyson's Corner Theater, and when we got done with the movie, we were talking about how these types of comedies all have the same skeleton. Almost from the first scene how the relationships are going to be resolved in Fist Fight.
Yep.
Magic Mike, you might go in thinking, oh, this is going to be like Necessary Roughness or Bring It On or, Revenge of the Nerds competition. But Magic Mike XXL has its own skeleton. You can't hang that skin on any other movie.
Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying that I didn't have a bad experience with the film. That's why I'm saying the way it ended, or not even the way it ended, but everything leading up to that ending. That's why I'm saying that there was nothing wrong with that. That's why I'm saying when I was watching it, I was just like, man, like, what? Okay, I thought,
what the hell is this?
I thought it would be this, but it's not. It's that. And so I'm at the end of the day, like I had a good time watching it. It just, again, it was. I don't know of another film structurally or narratively like that. That has those different beats, like as we talked about. Most comedies have specific beats that they hit. The skeleton's all the same. You have a character that's introduced, and then they'll have a problem that's introduced, and then if they have a best friend or another a love interest or whatever, something will push them apart, and then one of those two people have to come back and make amends at the end, at the last act. And that normally happens. Fist Fight's different. Magic Mike is different. Normally,
Magic Mike isn't a comedy. To me,
well,
like,
Double XL. Well, and see, that's the thing. Like, I'm
kinda.
I would say it's not a comedy. I think it is a vehicle for dance scenes, and that's something that we have not talked about. It's really all about the opportunity of watching these guys dance. It's about dancing.
It's a Step Up movie.
Yeah,
it's a sequel.
Kinda.
It's Step Up to the Banana Hammock.
There really was only one Channing Tatum banana hammock moment, and it was really weird. Like, to me, like, a banana hammock is not a sexy look on a guy.
You should watch Magic Mike 1, Lisa. 1, you get more banana hammock.
Oh, great.
2, you get full on ass, bubble ass, and it's that Swayze bubble ass from Roadhouse, Lisa.
Oh, man. To me, it's just, the banana hammock is just too hilarious looking. Like, I could never take a man seriously in a banana hammock.
I gotta
It
turn
looks
that
like
shipment to
Amazon. There are thousands of women, possibly millions, Lisa, who...
to me, it looks like women's underwear, and I would just rather...
Because it is!
Just see... I would just rather just be all out.
You like my Spider-Man boxers?
I do. I think they're charming.
All or nothing, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And so...
Mostly nothing.
One thing... let's see. What was her... Amber Heard. Here's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
Her character had no place in this movie.
It kind of didn't, but...
She is adorable.
I don't know that I like her character. I just liked her in the movie.
Yeah, she's good in it.
I'm not even saying she was good in it. I mean, I just like looking at her in the movie. Like, she was, I don't know. I never really paid attention to her before.
Amber Heard?
Yeah.
Drive Angry?
I knew you were going to say that. I knew she's in that movie because you always mention her when you mention that movie.
She was good in that movie.
Yeah.
And I don't doubt that. But like when I don't know, there's just something about her. Like
she's cool in this movie. She's a cool looking
maybe that's
chick.
what it is.
I think
she was a person with kind of a cool attitude. She doesn't really have that much of a future, and it bothers her a little. It's getting her a little bit down, but nothing that a male entertainer can't fix with some coercion, which is strange. But to me, like, what another thing that we haven't mentioned, but thinking about the Amber Heard character, is that a lot of this film feels improvised. Like that scene of Channing Tatum and Amber Heard
in the
kitchen with the cake. A lot of that feels improvised, which I think adds to the charm of this film
and the awkwardness.
Yeah, and adds to the
I know what it
awkwardness.
was. I was like, man, she seems so cool in this movie. Like, I would love to hang out with her. So I wonder if there's any truth to this Johnny Depp shit that's going on with her. It's like, I don't want to think of her as fucking crazy. I like her. I like this Amber Heard.
The reality is, Darren, you respond positively to Amber Heard because she is Mira in the next Justice League movie.
That is
and
true.
anything touching your boy Superman gets you excited.
She is?
Yeah, she's Mira. She's Aquaman's wife. She can control your fluids.
Oh. All right. I can control my own fluids. The fuck?
When Mira's around, she's got
can't.
hold of them.
No. All right. So yeah, that's. I haven't rated on Letterboxd yet because I wanted to keep
was
people in
watching.
suspense. I know. So I give it 3 stars.
Yeah,
I had a good time
that's
with it.
nice.
I had a good time with it. And now I'm actually afraid to go back and watch the first one, especially to hear how you describe it, Brad, and that it's different tonally, because I feel like I'm going to be disappointed that it's not XXL.
Well, the first Magic Mike very much is a latter day Soderbergh character study. You know, I feel like you can put it right next to Side Effects. Now, what's interesting is he stepped away from the director's chair for XXL, but he still shoots the entire film. He's the cinematographer of the sequel, and gosh, that's a fascinating set. I would like to know more about that transition. I'd love to get a good, Death of Superman Lives, What Happened documentary of the Magic Mike franchise, but maybe we will after the third film.
All right. I don't know that I'm looking forward to that documentary. I'm just saying, if
You are.
Magic Mike XXL is anything like XXL, and they don't try to do like a what's the franchise where every film is different, like feels different. I don't want it to be
Mission Impossible.
Yeah, if they do a Mission Impossible, then I don't know that I'm necessarily looking
Magic
forward to
Mike XXL. Return of Xander Cage.
it. Man, let that dude stay retired. I mean, I see a 50-year-old Vin Diesel in a banana hammock. All right, but so I enjoyed Magic Mike XXL. I mean, XXL. Do I love it? No, I had fun with it though. Again, I think maybe if as I live with the film and think about it and have gotten used to what it is as opposed to what I was expecting or maybe not expecting, then maybe that my affinity for the film will grow.
I bet it's like every time I've watched the film, which is 2 times, it's been with Brad, and like watching it with someone else is really, really fun.
Here's the thing: you saw it at the Alamo, right?
I did.
So when I'm watching those scenes, the dance scenes, when all the way it roams her establishment, and even at the end, I was like, "Shit, man! I would have liked to have been there at that screening because that seems like it'd play good with the crowd."
Yeah, and we had they gave us like little paper dollars with Channing Tatum's face to throw,
Yeah.
And Big Dick Ritchie.
And there was a special menu, and I had the banana hammock sundae, which was enjoyable.
Yeah. So I had a good time with it. So that's my first homework assignment down. Next up, Wife Dork.
Yeah, I thought for your homework this round, following Magic Mike XXL, a tough follow, Brian, but I'm willing to give it a try.
All right.
So like I said, this is a palate cleanser. It's a change in tone, but you will find similar themes of indulgence and challenging worldviews. And it also goes along with our Oscar theme. And so I
Are you going to make me cry,
it's
Lisa?
time to bust it out. Perhaps this...
Bust it out.
so to speak. And my homework assignment for you... I can't get it. Okay, anyway. My homework assignment for you is Babette's Feast. It is the story of...
This looks sad.
It is the 1987... Best Foreign Language Film winner. It is in Danish, and I think there's some Swedish and some French in there, so you're going to have to read some subtitles. But it's about this woman who returns to her puritanical village and brings some of what she learned in France about French cooking to bring some indulgence to the lives of these Puritans.
You also can't touch them.
You can't touch them.
There are a lot of lawbreakers out there, too.
Well, this came out in 1987. Same year as RoboCop. Crazy. And it's a Criterion. Yay!
Yes.
Oh, Criterion Blu-ray. Thank you. Let's see here. There's a lot of special features. Okay. It deals with food.
Yes, there is a 7-course meal
Yikes.
in this film that is not unlike the 5-course dance scene at the end of Magic Mike XXL. There's something for everybody in it, is what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm looking forward to checking it out.
And Darren, don't we also have an ItMod Film Club to announce as well?
Yes, we do. So, last episode, we were supposed to announce the ItMod Film Club, but I didn't.
You had to meditate on it. I'm
did.
glad that you did.
And I did meditate on it. I have already announced this via Twitter and the social medias, but I'm going to officially announce it now on this episode. And so, my pick for our next ItMod Film Club episode will be, or is, Park Chan-wook's Old Boy.
Yeah.
I have an affinity for foreign film. That is no secret. And I also have an affinity for Chan-wook Park's work. That is no secret. And this is a film that it's just come up quite a bit in discussion around here within the last 6 months to a year. But I haven't gone back to actually rewatch it. My last experience with Old Boy or some form of it was with Spike Lee's remake, which I did not love, but I did like. I enjoyed. There were issues with it. It was not Park Chan-wook's masterpiece, but that's okay, because Park Chan-wook's masterpiece still exists. And so that is what we will revisit for our next ItMod Film Club episode. So if you have not seen it, please check it out. It is available on Netflix now. Might even be available on Amazon. And it is also available in Chan-wook Park's Vengeance Trilogy box set, which is only like $37. So you should pick that up, even blind buy. And if you have already seen it, anytime is a good time to revisit that film. So please do so, and then join in on the conversation. And we will be tweeting, you shall be tweeting your questions and comments regarding Old Boy, and we will compile those, and we will go and discuss those on the episode, and that will drive our conversation about the film.
Is this our first ItMod Film Club where all of the dorks have already seen this film?
I think so.
We all
what about
seen
Chappie?
Predator.
And Chappie.
No, Predator was my first watch.
Yeah.
That's still weird to me.
And Chappie was Brian's first watch.
I think I own
Oh,
that.
never mind.
Okay, so this is our second.
Still.
Brian, you could have said no, so Lisa wouldn't look like she was wrong. Fuck, man.
Okay, I'm sorry. I speak the truth. I didn't know. Sorry.
I'll just edit that out and just say no for Brian. No. So, yeah, that's going to do it for us. Thank you all for listening. Brian, tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me on all the social medias at The Total Dork 1, and Brian William Young.
Wife Dork.
You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Sidewalk Siren.
Yep. B.
You can follow me at MouthDork on Instagram, Twitter, Untapped, Snapchat maybe someday. And that's it, I guess. Letterboxd.
And I'm Darren Smith, the Disco Dork, on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at the Disco Dork. That's going to do it for us. Thank you all for listening. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Snapchat has Power Rangers
Filters?
Be on the lookout for our fistful of Oscars and Snapchat's Power Ranger filters, I guess.
Yeah.
And thank you all for listening. And until next time.